This is Radio Free Pro Wrestling, your home for smart and stunning wrestling debate, with lifelong wrestling fans Sean and Ashley. Let the debate begin.
Good Tuesday morning, and welcome to this episode of Radio Free Professional Wrestling. And yes, it's the three of us. It's the three amigos. It's Ashley, Kimmy, and I am the luckiest person in the world because I have these two people to call on to preview AEW Double or Nothing as we do our traditional pick contest. Coming into this pick contest, I am 0-4 against Ashley. So why not just raise the stakes here and have Kimmy Soko come in to see if she has a better luck against Ashley, because I get a feeling I'm going to be third. Ladies, how are you doing?
Listen, when it comes to predictions, I'm either really good or really crappy. So, I'm hoping, it's Vegas themed. We got to double the odds, on theme.
On theme, yes, exactly. I got 2 times the chances to lose here. Yeah, Steiner math, buddy. I do have 3 news stories before we get into the pick contest. My first one being AEW has announced an agreement with Arlington, Texas, where they're hosting 5 Collision tapings, plus Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor at the Esports Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Now, for the setup for esports, it's $2,500. I'm just wondering what they do for the tapings. But Kimmy, how do you feel about AEW deciding to have this massive set of tapings before they head over to London for All In?
I'm hyped because we actually have a Ring of Honor pay-per-view announced ahead of time. This is wonderful. And, Final Battle the last couple of years has been in Texas. Usually Death Before Dishonor's in the Northeast, so I'm hoping that maybe we get like a little swapperoo, that because they're getting Death Before Dishonor, that we're going to get Final Battle, and Final Battle's going to come home to Hammerstein. It's the last Ring of Honor pay-per-view I need to be media for, so I'm really happy that that is actually a possibility of happening. But I think this is really smart because they're advertising way ahead of time. Texas is a huge fan base for AEW. They go there quite often, almost as much as they do to the Northeast. So I think this is a brilliant move by AEW.
How about you, Ashley?
Yeah, I thought it was kind of weird when it was announced, but kind of seeing like the various feedbacks that people have been talking about and what like me saying here, like the advertising is way in advance. So hopefully that means we'll start seeing what's to come that week. We have this entire week. It shows that you need to build, so hopefully we can start seeing what's going to be filtered into that. But I think it's a very interesting choice. I think Texas has been a great crowd for AEW, and they haven't had too many shows. So it should be interesting to see young people show up to each one.
Actually, this reminds me of when WCW would take their tapings down to like Orlando Studios for that, or actually Disney at the time, and they would do like a summer set of tapings. This is save on the expense of renting out buildings and stuff. I think this is a smart move by AEW, and I can't wait to see how they have this set up, and I'm wishing them all the best here in this situation. Now, my second news story, actually, we were kind of speculating this last week on the show, as PW Insider is reporting that Eddie Kingston suffered a tibial fracture in his leg during that match between Gabe Kidd. It's that table spot where Gabe Kidd did the suplex, and we saw Eddie Kingston's leg just wrap around that guardrail. Unfortunately, we want to send out all the best to Eddie Kingston, and he's hoping he can get to All in London, so I'm going to have my fingers crossed.
Yeah, this was a pretty nasty injury. I don't think that AEW wanted this, meaning that Eddie had a pretty important role for Double or Nothing, that he was going to be in Anarchy in the Arena. Injuries are not fun. So, yeah, I hope Eddie's okay, but it's kind of like the biggest bone in your leg. So coming back in like 3 months, that would be a miracle.
Yes, it's very ambitious. Hopefully everything goes right. Ashley, I know we talked about this last week, but you saw the picture of Eddie Kingston in the wheelchair with the big old brace. How did that make you feel?
Heartbroken. I love Eddie, and it's like such a kind of a kick because you feel like he shed all these belts recently. He's lost his triple crown. He's no longer champion. It felt like so much more was building with him joining Team AEW, and it's like terrible timing. And we kind of swap it up for a possibly not fully healed Darby. So I just hope both guys are, obviously we hope Eddie is good, and he's talking about, I guess, like leading up to if he's surgery or not will be determining factor on how long he's out. So Hopefully he won't need surgery. Hopefully he can kind of make it back for, like you said, all in. And hopefully they can kind of continue the storyline with his absence in this.
True. Now, they replaced Eddie Kingston in the arena match with Darby Allin. Now, during the pick contest, we can talk about this. I have a feeling I would have picked somebody else because Darby's not 100% either, but we'll save that for a second. As the other story I want to bring to your ladies' attention is Mike Johnson of PW.
Ashley gets it. She knows exactly. Yep. He's coming. He's got to. He's the only one healthy. Come on.
Okay, so my third news story here is Mike Johnson of PW Insiders reporting Athena got injured during the latest ROH tapings this past Thursday night. We want to wish her a speedy recovery. Fans reported that she was noticeably limping after the match. She was helped to the back. We don't know exactly what this injury is yet, but the forever Ring of Honor Women's World Champion, the goddess that keeps Ring of Honor on her back, this lady needs to be okay because Ring of Honor cannot work without her.
This would be so disappointing if this is how her 500 plus day reign ends. Oh my god, it would be so devastating. I remember when I found out when it would be a tragedy. Whenever it was reported Friday, Saturday, I forgot what day it was. I was just like, "Oh my god, what? Like, why? No." So yeah, so I'm quite terrified here because Athena's the only champ that really shows up every week, and now we might not have anybody. So for the love of God, someone please, all of my Ring of Honor friends said that we will collectively give our left leg to Athena to make sure that she could continue defending the title. Please do that.
Yeah, I'm
Does she have any words you want to say about it?
Just on that vote as well. This would be like literally the worst case scenario. I'm hoping it's nothing too serious. She's the linchpin of ROH right now, and I don't know what happens if you take her away from this. I feel like she's almost single-handedly holding what Ring of Honor has come together.
Exactly. I mean, like, she's the one person, like you said, Kimmy, she's the one champion on that show, and she's the major draw to those tapings. And like you said, I don't want her title run to end like this. I'm perfectly happy with her keeping the title while she's injured, this cutting promos until she's healthy enough to defend the title.
Agreed. Or, like, she can hire some new minions to defend that title for her. Have Billy Starks pull double duty, or, get somebody else. Like, please, don't let it end this way. Tony Khan, please.
Exactly.
I just right, don't let it end this way. Like, that would just be the worst.
Yes, it would be the worst. We all agree that Athena needs to go out on her shield, not like this for this long-term champion for Ring of Honor. So, ladies, it's that time. We're going over to the pick contest. Now, Ashley, you're still the defending champion, so we're going to give you two options here. You can pick the matches, or you can pick the order of us picking the matches. Which do you choose?
Oh.
I'll pick the matches.
So you're going to take the matches. Okay, fair enough. So allow me to switch over to the match list I got. Okay, champ, which match are we picking?
Okay, so we're going to start with Moxley's match because I have some questions.
Ashley, which match?
Moxley and Tanahashi.
Okay, here we go.
Because this one
Ashley,
is a
you
weird one.
selected the... I agree, because in the history of this title, there has never been a eliminator match to decide the challenger for said title. And
There's
secondly,
a reason.
Tanahashi. He's deserving of a title shot. This guy has been on a massive run at AEW. Give him the freaking title. I mean, you're basically partners with New Japan Pro Wrestling anyway. Why not have yet another title match on this pay-per-view?
So the issue is that the person who owns New Japan, he makes the decisions. Like, any single time that title is defended, it has to get approved by him. So I am assuming he did not approve his title being defended on this AEW pay-per-view, which is why it's an eliminator match. And also, if you're not going to get anyone from New Japan to come in for Forbidden Door, this is a way to set up his Forbidden Door match, doing Moxley and Takeshita at Forbidden Door.
See, I thought about it too, and that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
If you want to... Go ahead, Ashley, you're fine.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I feel like we're running this back, but like, I feel like it's a weird just reasoning as to how we got here in the first place. Like, Will Hobbs just had a match on Dynamite for the AEW Heavyweight Championship. Konosuke has to go through an eliminator for it, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Because Don Callis has this pull with New Japan that he can get Will Hobbs a championship, a guy who has literally zero ties to Japan, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Why wouldn't Takeshita is sort of be given that same leeway here?
Very true point. You feel like the invisible hand could pull one more card out of his deck of tricks to get Takeshita a shot at this title, but maybe that's down the road. So, Kibi, since you're our guest, first pick goes to you.
Obviously John Moxley is gonna win. I don't think they're gonna have him have like this short ass title reign for no apparent reason. And it was rumored, I think a couple days ago, that apparently NATO is gonna come in and wrestle Moxley at Forbidden Door in case Takeshita loses. I think it's gonna happen. But this should be a decent match, but I don't see Moxley losing so close after winning the world title.
Okay, Ashley, do you want me to go next or you want to go next? Okay, so I'm going to take Takeshita here. I feel like Kimmy's right. I feel like they're going to actually have this match won by Takeshita, so they have a backup plan just in case they don't have a New Japan Heavyweight Championship match at Forbidden Door. You can slide this match as a rematch at that pay-per-view. So give me Takeshita. I'm going against the grain here.
I agree with you, Sean. I'm taking Takeshita as well. I think this being an eliminator match, I think we're going to be kind of kicking a proper match for the title for them to down the road a bit. I think we get shenanigans though, whether it's Don Callis family or God forbid some sort of House of Torture interference with the match with Evil coming up in New Japan. So please, both New Japan and Tony Khan, don't do this to me. I don't want House of Torture on this card. Thank you.
Oh, trust me. If House of Torture shows up on this pay-per-view at Double or Nothing, I'll be here next Monday night by myself, reviewing the whole thing by myself, because Ashley will be on protest strike.
With the match Evil coming up though in New Japan, I kind of wouldn't put it past them. I mean, they're kind of building for the door season, so I see, maybe we're going to start seeing crossovers and then starting to set up matches.
Exactly. I do believe you have a good, unfortunately, a possible idea there, Ashley. So, champ, second match, which one are you taking?
All right, so let's do the TNT Championship. Copeland Black.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're at the AEW TNT title match. Easy for me to say. Adam Copeland versus Malachi Black inside a barbed wire steel cage. And we know in AEW, the steel cage doesn't matter because they'll still get in somehow. So, Kimmy, once again, first pick goes to you. Do you want Adam Copeland or do you want the leader of House of Black?
I feel like Twitter is going to be so upset if Malachi Black loses. He only gets 5 singles matches a year, right? That's what Twitter tells me. But I think Black has to win here, especially with the loss of Julia Hart because of her shoulder surgery. I feel like the House of Black really isn't as relevant as they can be, and Malachi, I think, could do a lot of wonders with this title. I think Copeland and the House of Black can continue to feud into the summer, maybe something in Wembley, but I definitely see Malachi getting the win here, especially because, like I said, he doesn't have singles matches often, and Twitter gets quite angry about that.
Okay, so I'm going back with Kim here. I'm picking Malachi Black for the win here. Because remember, when he accepted this match last Wednesday night, he added kind of a stipulation on the side of it. He's like, Copeland, when you lose, you need to bend the knee to the House of Black. I could see Copeland join the House of Black somehow, some way after this pay-per-view and Malachi Black having this victory. And it's going to make it a little bit interesting TV. So, Champ, what do you think?
This is almost like a weird one because, like you guys said, I feel like Malachi doesn't win this. I feel like everything the House of Black does is so it's stealing this aura and this mystery and stuff. And I feel like I'm just kind of coming out and losing all the time. Actually, just obviously kills that momentum, that aura they have. I feel like he doesn't win without usually a heart here, without kind of a more seemingly stable direction for House of Black. I would think it would have to be almost through as a faction. They've been kind of innocent when it comes to winning their feuds and everything like that. So I think I'll take Malachi. I don't feel great about this choice, though. I will say, I feel like, but like I said, I feel like if Malachi doesn't win this, like there's kind of no reason to take Malachi Black as a serious competitor, and not he's not good sense, but because of the way he's been portrayed in his like singles matches and things like that.
Exactly. Actually, if Malachi Black doesn't win this match here, you basically can call this the House of Midcard.
Aren't they already the House of Midcard, though?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm a Malachi Black supporter here. I mean, I do like my Tommy End. There's this guy in England called David Vitley. He's a big Tommy End fan. So I have to be the person to represent Malachi Black here. So I get my hands tied here, but I can see the point, ladies. It already is the House of Midcard. I can see the point.
Well, I'm hoping this like stealing stuff of the House of Black works out better this time around.
Okay, Ashley, where are we going for match number 3?
Okay, let me see. What we got here? Let's go to Orange Cassidy and Trent.
Orange Cassidy and Trent. Got it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the breakup of the spring/summer. It's Trent Beretta going full heel as now he's on the quest to prove to Orange Cassidy that he's the better person. And Kimmy, which of the former best friends are you going to take in this match?
So I think between now and when this pay-per-view airs, there's going to be a stipulation added to this match, whether it be no DQ, falls count anywhere, something of that nature, just because of how deep this rivalry has become. Orange has to win here because he's the babyface, and we all need the feel-good moment, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of moments on this show that people are not going to be happy with. And I can totally see, even though he can't wrestle, I can see like Chuck maybe like punching Trent or doing some minimal work here to help Orange get the win. But Orange is definitely winning this one.
You make a very fine point, Kimmy. And you're right. There's a lot of matches here on this card where the fans may not be happy with the results of it. But Kimmy, this is one of those matches. I'm thinking Trent Beretta. He's this recently turned heel. If he loses this first big match on pay-per-view as a heel, why did we do the heel turn in the first place?
He won the last pay-per-view he wrestled heel on in 0 Hour against Matt Sydal.
Touche. But I just enjoyed this heel Trent Beretta, and I want to see more of it. And I feel like Orange Cassidy, he's good. He can eat one more loss. He's like, I want to say he's kind of reminds me of Chris Jericho back in WWE when he got to the point where it didn't matter if he won or lost, he can still rebuild the heat up. And I feel like Orange Cassidy's got to that point where with his fan base in AEW, a loss to Trent won't hurt Orange.
Orange has been racking up a lot of L's.
Yeah.
So
and for both of your guys' reasoning, both of your reasoning is like very logical. And it's like what I've been thinking about, like when I was like debating on my picks, because Trent did have the big massive heel turn. You obviously want to kind of push him and encourage this. Like I've often said even here that I think Trent is very underrated as a singles competitor. But I do feel like this like Don Callis weirdness with like them coming out to Orange Cassidy is going to factor in. Now my problem is I don't know if this is a real attempt from Don Callis to get Orange Cassidy to join him, or if they're just screwing him over so they can get Trent to join them, which kind of seems like maybe Trent would join them when we first turned heel. I think I'm going to go for Orange Cassidy. Even though he can take the L's, I think the anger and everything Chuck is going to kind of superpower our usually lazy friend in Orange Cassidy.
I see. You set me up to believe you were going to be on my side, Ashley, and then you just went to with your tag team partner. I see. Okay. Perfectly fine. So I'm outnumbered here 2-1. We'll go on to the next match. Ashley, fourth match. What are we taking?
All right. So let's do Will Ospreay and Roderick Strong.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's the international title match. It's Roderick Strong versus Will Ospreay. Kimmy, is this where Will Ospreay gets the first loss, or
no?
Will Ospreay gets his first title?
This is a must-win for Will. I feel like the whole point of the international title, when they first introduced it, was to travel all over the world. And with Will being an international star, there is a lot more that he could do with this title. And I know that he hasn't really done indie since signing with AEW when he went full-blown in March. but there is a possibility that he can defend that title in the UK and a lot of other indies. So this is a must-win for Will, and I definitely think that after this, we'll set up Will versus Bryan Danielson 2 for possibly not Forbidden Door. I don't know when. Maybe Wrestle Dream. I don't care. But yeah, Will's going to win. Poor Roddy. It's okay.
You know, I do like me some Roderick Strong. And see, this match here is my dilemma. It's like my two favorite sons. Who do I pick? Which one's the more favorite of my sons if I had sons? But Kimmy, I'm going with you. Will Ospreay's going to win this international title. He's going to head into AEW All in London as a champion. Can you just imagine Ospreay coming out with a title at that card? And maybe we'll get Bryson versus Will Ospreay there for the international title. Who knows? Or we could get maybe a unification with Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay for the AEW. Okay, I know I'm dreaming. Okay, so I'll stop there at Kimmy because you're just going to shoot me down. But that's okay.
They introduced this title 2 years ago. Why are we already unifying them?
Because I want to do it, but hey, we'll just go ahead. Kimmy's right, so they're not going to do that. So, Ashley, who's your choice?
I feel like Will Ospreay is like obviously obvious choice. I feel like he's set for bigger things than this title, and I don't mean as a knock on the championship at all. I just feel like the World Heavyweight Championship is like in his future sooner rather than later. As much as there's a big part of AEW fans that don't want to hear that. I feel like I'm a little confused, or like kind of confused about it, like Roger Strong with us being demised, because we did see like Adam Cole get up and walk a couple of weeks ago, and we haven't seen Adam Cole since. So he pop up and cost Will Ospreay. I wouldn't mind Will Ospreay and Adam Cole if Adam Cole's good to go. I just don't think. All right, I don't think he can kill like his momentum though, unless there's shenanigans. But I'll go with Ospreay. Barring outside interference, I think he's got it in the bag.
I think you're right, Ashley. I think if Will Ospreay somehow loses this match, you're going to see the Undisputed Kingdom heavily handily in this match, interfering. And like you said, maybe it leads to Will Ospreay versus Adam Cole during the summer if Adam's back and healthy and able to wrestle. And when he is, we need this Will Ospreay versus Cole match. Yes, please. Thank you. So, Ashley, fifth match. Where are we going?
Let's do the chaotic. Let's do Anarchy in the Arena.
Okay, we are talking about Anarchy in the Arena. It's Team AEW. At the time, it's going to be FTR, the American Dragon, and Darby freaking Allin versus Team Elite, the Young Bucks, Jack Perry, and the Okada One. So, Kimmy, are you Team Elite or are you Team AEW?
So AEW has to get the win here, and I would not be surprised if Tony Khan, I'm not saying he's going to take a bump, but Tony Khan's going to come out and like do something to help Team AEW win is the full circle moment here, because this is Tony Khan's dream. This is what this man has dreamed of since he was like 5 years old. So don't be surprised if you see that. I do not think Darby is going to wrestle. There is no physical way that man is anywhere near cleared. I'm from New York. I know what those buses look like. They're like, come on, you gotta at least sell the New York City buses. I saw that on Twitter, that if Darby wrestles, he's no selling the New York City public transportation. As a New York citizen, I would be so upset by that. Daniel Garcia made the save for Team AEW on Collision. That is not a coincidence. I believe that was done on purpose. He has the former alliance with FTR when they battled the House of Black, and also they at one point or another they were the number one contenders for those trios titles. So I think Daniel Garcia will make the switcheroo for Darby. Darby's gonna get beaten down by the Bucks either Wednesday on Dynamite or either right before the pay-per-view. It's like, oh my god, look, we still have the advantage. We're the elite. We're the EVPs. Like, we want to do anything we can to make sure we got the advantage. It's still 4-on-3. Daniel comes out, huge pop, amazing moment, and then Daniel's going to help them get the win. So Team AEW will win Anarchy in the Arena.
Hey, Ashley, Kimmy made a lot of great points there, and I think she's right. I think Garcia gets added to this match, but at this match, there's one more member of the Elite. Remember, we haven't seen somebody in a long, long time. I get a feeling this is where Heyman Adam Page makes his return, and I feel like he's going to join up with his buddies, and I can't believe I'm saying this, as much as I don't like the EVPs, I'm taking the Team Elite to beat Team AEW as we continue this heel elite faction, and we get a heel Heyman Adam Page return. So, champ, you're the design vote here. Which way you gonna go?
All right, let me no bones about it. I'm not doing with you, Sean. I think it's Team Elite. I don't know if Hangman comes back. I would love to say yes, Hangman is going to come back, but I don't know what's going on with him, so I don't want to head my best on that. And I would love to say I think Darby Allin's going to take out of the match, but it's Darby Allin, and I don't think he cares that he got hit by the bus. I'm pretty sure he would have shown up had it happened that day. I feel like Garcia gets involved, but maybe it's kind of counteracted. I believe Daniel Garcia should have been the outright replacement for Eddie Kingston as opposed to bringing Darby back into it if he's not 100% for any reason. So I think there is a pick on Darby and they get the win. There's some sort of shenanigans and they get the win, but I'm going to go with Team Elite.
Bravo, partner. Bravo. Wait a minute. Actually, it's more like me coming to your side. Wait a minute. I'm coming to your side. You're not coming to my side. Okay, champ. Let's go to match number 6 here. Which one are we taking?
All right, so we got the 3 biggest ones left. So let's start. Let's do the women's title match. Let's do Serena Deeb and Toni Storm because I feel like two are kind of be the maybe the debating main event for either one. I think here.
We have that FTW title match too. We just don't know who Jericho's facing, but it's either Shibata, Hook, or Brian Keith.
Oh, we'll get to the match. We'll save that one. We can do it after this one, but we'll go to the AEW Women's World Title match. Timeless Toni Storm versus Serena Deeb. This is going to steal the freaking show. This is going to be a great wrestling match. Kimmy, which lady are you taking?
I'm a little worried that this match might not steal the show because I saw a couple weeks ago no one cared about Serena Deeb's promo that she's cutting out there talking about her seizures and talking about her huge comeback and no one cared. And I feel like this feud just isn't doing it for me. I don't know why. I don't want to blame either woman. I think they're both super talented, but I felt like there was so much anticipation for this and no one cares. I feel like there's so much more people interested in Mercedes and Willow than this. And that's this is your world title. That's a mid-card title. You should care about this a little bit more than the mid-card title. I don't care if Mercedes is in it. So Tony's obviously going to win. I think someone is coming out here. I don't know who, whether it be Britt, whether it be Jamie, whether it be somebody else, but I feel like the women's division on the heavyweight side, especially because you have all those people challenging for the TBS title, they need something fresh, something new. Hell, Megan Bain can come out, and I would even be thrilled with that, or a Camille Brickhouse who's been signed and they don't know what to do with her. But the World Heavyweight Championship, the Women's World Heavyweight Championship scene needs something fresh. So hopefully someone just comes out here to fix this mess. This is why Mercedes should have been in this match and not the match against Willow.
Okay. All estimate points by our lovely guest, AEW Ring of Honor analyst here, Kimmy Suckle. I'm torn because I love both ladies, but I'm following Kimmy's lead here. I'm taking Toni Storm to retain the title here. It's still not time to take that off of her yet. And I know the fans didn't care one bit about Serena Deeb's promo, unfortunately, but this match, ring-wise, in the ring, is going to be really, really good. And there will be one person caring about this match. It is I. So, champ, who are you taking? Are you going with Kimmy and me and taking Toni? Or you'll go out on the island by yourself?
No, I'm very much on this one. I think it's Toni Storm for sure. And it is genuinely disheartening that there isn't more interest in this match because this has the potential to be a very good match. But like he said, there's not anybody interested in it. It's because of the weird dynamic of Serena Deeb was a major heel. She went out with some very serious injuries and some very serious issues she was dealing with, and then came back and was just babyface. But there was even though she first came back, she was still sort of heelish, but then she just went full babyface with no real catalyst for it. And then you have Toni Storm, who is the heel in this situation, but nobody's going to allow her to be a heel right now because everybody loves her. Because you watch her promo, it was fantastic. Everyone wants to love Toni Storm, and they've not given us a reason outside of Serena Deeb cutting this promo last week and her explaining her struggles and everything, why she should be considered for champion. And that, I think, is more of an AEW issue than a Serena Deeb or Tony Storm issue. Like, I think they were kind of given a short end of the stick on this one, with the Low and Mercedes being the other matchup. But I think because of that short-sightedness, I think it's an easy win for Tony Storm.
Yes, I do believe so, Ashley. I really feel like Serena Deeb would do a World of Honor, pardon the pun, if she was in Ring of Honor fighting Athena.
That's
or
what I
maybe
said. That should have been the Super Card of Honor match. I believe I was on this show saying it, that should have been the match for Super Card of Honor. I was pissed.
So, yeah. Personally, I just feel like they brought Serena Deeb back. They didn't do justice with her telling the story of what happened to her. That way, the fans would have felt like she could be a babyface. Because, like you said, Ashley, this match, the dynamics is all reversed. It's like down is up and up is down.
Yeah, it's like you don't know where to stand up with Serena, but they want to cheer Tony no matter what. Like, it doesn't matter that she's a heel, it doesn't matter that she cheats in her matches. We just love her and we want her to win. So it's tough to kind of like have somebody just come in and be like, all right, well, I'm going to take the title, but you have no build up for it. Like, this is a case where like, Tony Storm is a very character-driven thing. Like, everything she does is obviously like super elaborate, over the top, and everything like that. So like, she would benefit from having kind of that counterpart, I think, in a similar style.
Exactly. So let's get this match out of the way. I know a lot of people just don't care for this match whatsoever. It's for the world title match. It's the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho versus Hook, part 999. Kimmy, are you standing underneath the Learning Tree, or are you going with the fellow New Yorker in Hook?
I'm going with Hook here. I think I don't want to hold out Hook, but I feel like when Taz was like, oh, I'm having these knee problems and all this stuff, I feel like that was maybe an excuse, and maybe he was trying to get cleared by a doctor so he could take out Big Bill in this match, which I would not be surprised by, because, you know, Taz has been saying some crap on commentary, so we got to come full circle here. But I definitely think it is time for Hook to get his title back, and I hope this match is less than 10 minutes, because every time Jericho wrestles on the pay-per-view, it is the longest match of the show, and no one cares.
Kimmy, I'm going to co-sign this for you. This match should be under 3 minutes. It should be Taz being able to lock a Taz mission on Big Bill, as Hook locks a red rump on Chris Jericho, and we burn the Learning Tree to the ground.
I don't think Tony Khan wants the Learning Tree to burn to the ground.
Well, he can have his own podcast, but for me,
Tony Khan and I
let's burn this freaking tree to the ground. So, Champ,
I genuinely hate that I laughed at his last promo. Look, I'm going to say this. I'm looking at the Carl Will Ospreay's Twitter page, and he doesn't even have this match listed, which is why I completely forgot about it. Please get back to Hook. Please do away with this. Please get Bill away from Chris Jericho. Bill doing so good that there was no need to pair him up with somebody else. And it's like this weak syndrome everybody has of, we don't do with them coming as tag team. We don't need a thrown together tag team, a thrown together group like that. Like, just let Big Bill and Ricky Starks just throw together tag team champions. You know, like, focus on the tag teams in AEW. You have plenty of actual teams that should be the focus. And Big Bill, I think, during that title reign with Ricky Starks, maybe outshined him a little bit. And I think he kind of deserves a little more when he came back to maybe even run for something like the NXT champion. Even if he didn't win it right away, I would have put him in the picture. I think it was very weird to have him come back from being a champion to then immediately coming back in and being like, yeah, I need to win Chris Jericho.
Exactly, Kimmy. It was really weird how this all came together, and the fact that we haven't seen Ricky Starks in forever on AEW TV, and he's already been on social saying that he's not injured. He just doesn't understand why he's not back on TV. And honestly, I was thinking, like, if you needed a fourth for this Anarchy in the Arena match, Ricky Starks would have been my choice for the fourth member of Team AEW. I mean, like, who's more AEW than Ricky freaking Starks?
I mean, meaning that he's waiting for his contract to expire so he can go to WWE. I would not want Ricky Starks on Team AEW.
Well, Kimmy, if Hooks loses this match, hey, Ricky, just slide by, pick Hook up. You guys go over to NXT, knock on the door to Mr. Regal and Mr. Shawn Michaels' office, and will be watching you every Tuesday night.
Yeah, might as well.
So, champ,
Ricky
where are we
Starks
going
is
next?
honestly a fascinating case study at AEW.
Yes,
was
a
Ethan
very.
Page.
How about Scorpio Sky?
Didn't they just do a vignette for him like 2 weeks ago?
Yes, they did a vignette. So maybe
Yeah,
for
it's
some
coming
reason,
back.
we get Scorpio Sky back.
Listen, I know that like different people are like, oh, I've seen like some of the like, oh, Scorpio Sky's coming back, like, who really cares? But like, I don't know what Scorpio Sky is expected to do in a storyline with Dan Lambert. Okay, like I don't know what you can't make sense out of everything. You know?
Very true, Ashley. So, my friend, we're down to the last 3 matches if my map is right. Where are we going?
All right, so
There's 2 matches left. It's either the TBS title or the world title.
Ashley, which way we're
let's
going?
do the TBS title.
Okay, so let's go TBS title in 1 second. Okay, ladies, it's the AEW TBS title match. It's Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Moné. Kimmy, are you going with the homegrown Willow Nightingale, or are you all in on Money Moné?
Well, this match isn't going to main event, so hashtag sorry, not sorry for everyone trying to make it a hashtag. The thing is, this is why I do not want this to main event, right? Because this is the mid-card women's title. The mid-card women's title. For your first pay-per-view main event for the women, it should be the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. That's what it should be. This is a slap in the face if this match main events to all of the women's matches that has been a women's world title that could have main evented a pay-per-view. It's a slap in the face to it. I don't care if Mercedes is in this match. Mercedes should have wrestled Tony then. If Mercedes wrestled Tony, I wouldn't have made the argument. I would have been like, hell yeah, let the main event. Let's go. Because those two would have put on an amazing match. Also, Mercedes hasn't wrestled. So what if the match sucks? We don't know what she's done. We don't know how she's bouncing back from this ankle injury. So you want this match to potentially main event and you have no idea what she could do in the ring? And then you're going to sit there and be like, oh my god, this was the worst idea ever. You guys wanted it because you guys think that Mercedes is going to come back 100%. Ring rust is a thing. That's why a lot of times in WWE, when people are coming back from injury, they wrestle on the live events first to get the ring rust off. AEW doesn't have live events. Mercedes wasn't cleared till 2 weeks ago, which is why they couldn't do it. And they promoted this event that this is going to be Mercedes' first AEW match. So that's on them. So that's there's a lot of pressure on Mercedes that no one's going to talk about because they're going to be like, oh my god, this should be an event. No, this should open the show. It would be the first women's pay-per-view match to open, which is still history. But this should not main event. Anarchy in the Arena should main event. Especially if you're going to have Hangman and Tony and all of these people. That should be the main event. It was the main event last year. You're going to do it again this year. In terms of a winner, Mercedes is going to give AEW all the publicity that it needs. Going on the red carpets, throwing out like the first pitch, courtside seats. She's going to give AEW the publicity it desperately needs because ticket sales are going down. Ratings are going down. Mercedes Moné is only going up, which is why Mercedes Moné will be your new AEW TBS champion.
Ashley, I feel like I should ship my soapbox up to New York City now. I feel like we have a new person who will be our soapbox person. Let me say this. Last Wednesday night on Dynamite, the contract signing was a star-making moment for Willow Nightingale. I was so happy that she was able to get that spot and putting Mercedes Moné for the table. Now, if you see that spot, traditional wrestling logic tells you the other person is going to win the title. So I'm going to go with Kimmy, even though I would love to see Willow Nightingale win this match. It would be great. But like Kimmy says, Mercedes Moné gives you a lot of access to different avenues that AEW needs at the moment to help them build the company, get them back on track rating-wise. So I'm going all
TV
money.
Deal.
And they haven't announced the TV deal yet either for AEW. So why not put it on a bona fide quote-unquote superstar in Mercedes Moné? So Moné, all money. Champ, where are you going?
Mercedes. I get it, but like everything that Kimmy said at the beginning, very true. I agree. And when I saw that there was other people like pushing this main event, and like that was kind of my concern. I've personally never seen too much Mercedes. I've seen her New Japan matches that she did, but like kind of outside of that, I've only seen a handful of WWE matches. There's a possibility that she could come back and not be 100% in the ring to be clear. Danger goes with anybody been injured for that long. That is more than enough reason to risk putting that as the main event. At least if the match falls short of expectations, you could throw on Will Ospreay next, and kind of bring everybody back. It wouldn't be the worst thing. But like you said, to even think about putting that over Tony Storm in the AEW Women's Championship over every other kind of person, I don't agree with that at all. Opening, like you said, might not be a worst thing, because I do think one thing AEW has done a good job is making that opening match feel as important as a main event. They usually tend to have a big high-profile match in that spot, usually something to try to drag into the rest of the show, so it's possibly there. But I feel like we kind of knew what Willow won the title, that it wasn't going to be a long reign.
Well, Julia was hurt. That was the reason why they had to take the title off her, because she was going for surgery.
Yeah, even because when she won, and you kind of saw like the immediate plan was to kind of head this way, we kind of already saw that Willow was going to be like a transitional champion because Julia was going to be out.
True, Kimmy. Well, I would say instead of opening this card up with Mercedes Moné versus Willow Nightingale, I would slide this to the second match of the night. Just in case Moné does have ring rust, let it be the second match instead of the first match. That way...
The second match is usually known as the worst match on the card.
Well, I'm trying to protect your investment here. If I was Tony Khan, I would literally put it as the second match, have the opener be Roderick Strong versus Will Ospreay. Let them open. Then you slide this as the second match. Then you put Adam Copeland versus Malachi back as the third match. And that way you have it sandwiched between two other title matches. And just in case it doesn't go well later on in the night, people won't remember. They'll remember the finish, but they won't remember the match.
I wouldn't put it second. I would put it later on then, just because I forgot what documentary it was. I know Chris Jericho when Jericho and Owens wrestled at WrestleMania, Owens had said that any match that goes on second is known as the match that no one cares about, and the match that no one's gonna remember, because you have that hot opener, and then everyone usually goes get food, goes to the bathroom, merch, whatever, and you do not want a women's match going there, especially if it's Will. The crowd's gonna be dead. So don't do that. Put it in the middle. Put it like fifth.
I will say AEW does have a bad habit of putting some people in a terrible spot to try to follow up like other matches sometimes. And I do think they need to work on the order a bit when they lay these cards out.
Very true. Very true, Ashley. So, champ, what match are we going next?
There's only one match left.
Oh, are we at the final match? Okay. So we're at the final match. So we're at the AEW World Title match. So we have Swerve Strickland, your current champion, versus everybody's favorite Father of the Year, Christian Cage. So Kimmy, does Swerve Strickland get another victory here in his title run, or is it time to embrace the patriarchy and have Christian Cage have the title and have yet another good run of promos holding a title belt over his shoulder?
So there was a potential chance that I was going to Vegas. They announced this match, and I said, I don't want to go to Vegas anymore. Because I would not have done Christian as the first opponent. I don't know who I would have done. I get storyline-wise. It makes perfect sense. But for the first title defense on a pay-per-view, really? Really? This was the best we could do. The storyline itself has been a little better than I anticipated, but still, this sold me off going to Vegas. Swerve is going to get the big win. And hell, maybe if Hangman doesn't come out in Anarchy in the Arena, he comes out here after to set up Swerve's match. Again, Forbidden Door is complicated because you have all these people coming in. So maybe not Forbidden Door, maybe All Out, maybe All In, another pay-per-view. But Swerve is definitely going to win this one.
Kimmy's really smart here, and I do believe that if you don't give Swerve Strickland this victory over Christian Cage, we have to go back and look at why in the world we decided to put that title on Swerve Strickland in the first place, because we didn't do him service in his run up to the title. And I gotta say, AEW has not presented him well as the champion as of yet, and I want them to do more with Swerve Strickland because the crowd is so hot for this gentleman, and he's so good in the ring. This will be a fine world title match, but Swerve Strickland needs this victory more than Christian Cage, so let the champ retain here. So, Ashley, are you with me and Kimmy, or are you going to go with Christian Cage?
Oh, for sure. Swerve Strickland's winning. I don't hate this call, though. I like the callback. I like that there's plenty of them to do back on. Christian is certainly a guy who's going to give you a great match, whether you think it's going to be great or not going to it. The match with Kenny Omega a few years ago, stuff like that. And I like Wayne. So I like seeing like his development and his coming along into like this big scene for like, a 19-year-old, 20-year-old, whatever he is now. I genuinely, I think what bothered me the most is I felt like Swerve was such a great heel, and this kind of like weird transfer to babyface without there really being any reason for him to be babyface. Like, you get to a man's house and throw his baby. How are you the babyface of the situation? I feel like using Christian is trying to give him like that foundation to like just like be a believable babyface. Not saying believable, but more like a justified babyface, I guess. I feel like we kind of neutered Swerve when we did away with his heel run. He was the hottest act as the biggest heel, kind of like a mantle that nobody's really stepped up to. MJF was our big heel. He stepped away and became a big face. Then Swerve was the big heel, and then the fans kind of forced the baby face turn on him just by hearing him. And I don't feel like they worked there, capitalized in it in a way that like makes a lot of sense for him to still be like a baby face. So I feel like there's some disconnect there. But I feel like Christian is kind of a good first opponent, like you said, maybe not for a pay-per-view. Like maybe a special time, something like that would have been a better choice. But it's not my least favorite predictable match of all time.
So, Kimmy, if you were able to book this world title match, who would have been the person across the ring for Swerve Strickland?
I don't even know. I need the roster in front of me, to be honest. To me, like, okay, there's history there, but it's so obvious that Swerve's gonna win. I would have at least done someone where it's like, okay, there's a 50-50 shot here. Everyone knows Christian's not winning the world title. Hell, Nick Wayne. I would have done Nick Wayne. They have the history on the indies. They're wrestling each other Wednesday on Dynamite. I would have rather seen Nick Wayne in this position.
Ooh.
Honestly, Nick Wayne kind of being like kind of rushed forth by Christian would have been really good. Christian still could have been involved. It still would have made sense. Him being like, come, something like you do it, to take this title from him. They could use the stuff they've been using with like him attacking Nick Wayne at the gym last year, things like that. Especially because Christian was coming off such a big loss with COVID and losing that title, so kind of putting me, I guess, in that spot is a little anticlimactic as well.
Very true, Ashley. So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been your AEW Double or Nothing preview here on Radio Free Professional Wrestling. We are moving over to our stunning 6 questions of the week as we're closing the show. And my first stunning question for you ladies: was the Jey Uso victory over Ilya Dragunov the right choice as he advances Jey Uso to face Walter this evening on Raw for the Raw side of the King of the Ring final match?
Yes, because there's no way they're doing Gunther versus Ilya on the main roster for the first time on free cable television. Like, no, that match, there's so much history there from their stuff they did on NXT UK, their stuff in NXT, that there needs to be more of a build, and it has to be on a pay-per-view. I do not think Jey is going to beat Gunther anyway, but because Jey is super over right now, they had to do something. But yeah, 100% this was the right decision. Everyone be hating on Jey Uso. Like, you all made the camera shake in France 2 weeks before. Come on.
So, Ashley, how do you feel about this?
I'm going to say response to what Kimmy says, the greatest of all time was said, fickle. I agree. We've kind of spoken about like Jey Uso and his like kind of not his personal inability, but the inability to capitalize on these main event spots that he's gotten over the years. He hasn't won any of the championships he's been up for. He hasn't won any kind of like bigger matches he's been up for. And it is a guy who's so over. You do have to give him these victories.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ashley. Me personally, when I wrote this question like 2 days ago, I was thinking, kind of really wanted that Gunther Ilya Dragunov match. Then I started looking at the brackets fully, and you see the storyline is Randy Orton and Tana is on the other side. I got a sneaky feeling maybe Jey Uso does beat Gunther tonight, and we have the launch of this third chapter in the Bloodline storyline, as we have Jey Uso versus Tonga for the King of the Ring title.
The only reason I don't think that's happening is because with Bash in Berlin coming up, I think you have to keep Gunther as strong as possible because Gunther will be winning that World Heavyweight Championship in Berlin, meaning that they're making that pay-per-view all about him because that's where he's from. Well, he's from like that area. So I think you have to have him win King of the Ring and do whatever. And then whether it's Drew, it won't be Damian. So whether it be Drew or Punk, Gunther will be one of them at Bash in Berlin.
So, okay, let's go on to our second question of the week, ladies. As we were talking about during our preview for the AEW Double or Nothing, we saw Swerve Strickland has had a lukewarm run so far as AEW World Champion. But is it better than Trick Williams' NXT title run?
I feel like this isn't a fair question. They both recently won, like, Trick won the title last month, and so did Swerve. I feel like this isn't a fair question. They both just won the title. You can't make a comparison.
Well, look, okay, in Trick Williams' defense, he won the title, and they drafted every heel that he could possibly feud with to either SmackDown or Raw, like a week later.
I don't think that's true. I don't think I think Cody's situation on SmackDown is a lot worse than Trick Williams' situation in NXT. And I'm saying that I don't watch NXT every week, but I feel like there's so much more for Trick to do compared to Cody on SmackDown, who literally has nobody. Because the Raw men's division is stacked, and Cody is left like, what? He's going to continue his Bloodline storyline, or he's going to wrestle AJ again? Like, that's why he's wrestling Logan Paul. And the U.S. title's not being defended. They have no one for him to wrestle because everyone's either hurt or they were on Raw. So I don't think Trick's situation's that bad.
So, Ashley, are you Team Sean or are you Team Kimmy on this question?
I can kind of see both because, like I said, I do understand that these guys both did just win the championships. They haven't really had the time to kind of flourish in that position yet. I would only say I think it's Swerve because he had this big huge momentum, all the crowd support, and then he won the title, and we feel like we just completely neutered that character from what he was. Now he doesn't have his team, he doesn't have anybody kind of behind him. He's trying to get out on his own, but he's also weirdly coming out and questioning the Elite all the time. Why does Swerve Strickland care what the Elite are doing? Who cares if they have somebody fun? It has nothing to do with your world title reign. Why are you asking?
Well, because Christian's technically aligned with the Elite. So technically they are intertwined because the Elite sent Christian out. So technically he should question the Elite because this is the Elite's fault.
But Kimmy, coming into this universe of AEW, Swerve Strickland was actually, how am I going to play this? I mean, he's coming from the point where he's trying to justify. Okay, let me think. Because you got me in a corner, Kimmy. You got me in a corner. I kind of want to say you're right.
You have to understand, too, Swerve has only been a mid-card title in a major company. The only titles that man has held in major companies has been the North American Championship and the AEW Tag Team Championship. He has never been a World Heavyweight Champion. And even when he was in WWE, no one was saying he was the guy. No one was saying that he should be an NXT Champion or he should be World Heavyweight Champion. No one was saying that. So Swerve is trying to learn the differences between being a mid-card champion and getting into the World Heavyweight Championship. There's a lot of pressure there. He said it on the presser. There was one guy that actually asked him, oh, you threw out this first pitch. Is that going to keep happening? And he literally said, I've been doing that for a year so people could start paying attention to me. So he could represent the brand, which he's doing. He's done a lot of media since winning the title, and he's giving the publicity that Mercedes is going to give when she wins the TBS title. So I don't understand why we're saying Swerve has had a weak title run when he's also wrestled, I believe, every single week since winning the title, or almost every other week.
I don't think it's necessarily a weak title, right? I think the matches have been fantastic, and I love seeing the champion fight every week, despite what Twitter tries to get enough people about. I just think it was I feel like it was a weird time because it felt like the title thing was kind of the only thing that made him a babyface.
I think you're right, Ashley. I think you're right. We'll put a pin in this. We'll go on to my next stunning question for you. As back on Friday night, this was an interesting way to get out of a match they didn't want to do, as Jade Cargill suffers her first WWE loss and a disqualification to Nia Jax in the semifinal on the SmackDown side of the Queen of the Ring. So, ladies, were you happy with the way this match was booked, or how would you book it differently? Because personally, I would have had a double count out.
No, you had to book it this way because Jade has only had so many singles matches as she's still learning how to wrestle because she didn't really learn in AEW, and that's been reported for a year that the reason why her call-up was so delayed is because she's still learning. She got lost in the Backlash match where the ref had to literally yell at her and tell her what to do. She can't go out and have a dominant singles match without getting, and I'm not faulting her for it, but she's still learning. You've built her up as this big thing. You had ESPN announce she was signed, so you can't have her lose yet, which is why I was even shocked they put her in the tournament. I didn't think she was going to get in. And this was the only way. You had to do it as a disqualification. It's technically not a real loss. You can run back her and Jax, but she's still learning. That's why she's tag team champ. So Bianca could teach her because she still needs to learn. It's why, to be honest, she should have went to NXT to learn. That's why her first WrestleMania match was also a tag team match. Her first match in WWE was the Royal Rumble because you could cover this stuff up. It's not a coincidence. They're doing it on purpose.
See, I'm perfectly happy with the result of this match and Nia Jax moving forward to face Bianca Belair, because I didn't want to see our new crowd women champions face each other and we start this breakup of your tag teams. Oh, like a month after they won the title.
Yeah, don't do that again. No, I agree with Kenny. I feel like you have to do that, and you and I, Sean, we've spoken about these need to be in the tag team, and especially with somebody like Bianca Belair right now, and how much that should help her. So maybe kind of stopping the singles run before it really starts in this way that, like Kenny said, is believable. It allows for something to happen down the line. It is the best way to go about it.
Exactly. Because I feel like we're going to get Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax sometime, maybe in the fall, maybe. Depends on how things play out. We'll move on to my next question. As Tiffany Stratton found herself in a little bit of hot water earlier last week, as she posted on Instagram a video of her slapping Jade Cargill in a match, and over that was an audio clip saying "Black Beep." I gotta say, when I first saw the clip, I didn't really understand the fans' backlash, because to me, Tiffany keeps her Instagram like fully in character. So to me personally, I was going like, oh, she's being a heel. How do you ladies feel about it?
She shouldn't have been suspended. Ava posted something about Palestine last week too, and no one's complaining about that.
True.
So
true.
Wouldn't it be the same thing? Shouldn't Ava also get in trouble if Tiffany should get in trouble? No, this is Tiffany in character. She's not going to get in trouble. You can make the argument that maybe she lost in the Queen of the Ring tournament and that was her punishment. But Mike Johnson had said that there was no repercussions for this and they had completely understood.
Exactly. And I had a feeling that I would hope she would go over to Jade and go like, hey, I'm going to post this just to give you a heads up. Because I feel like she would probably not do it unless it was okay by the other person. How do you feel, Ashley?
I would hope there was some discussion before the post was made. I don't know how much I can actually say on it. I could see why, a fan watching would be like seeing it would be uncomfortable. But as far as like suspending her or things like that, I don't know if all that's necessary. That seems.
That's the way I feel. I feel like if you were to a point where you want to do a backlash on Tiffany Stratton for this, don't go back and watch anything from the 80s, 90s, or the Attitude Era of WWE, because you're going to see a lot worse. So let's move on to my next question for you ladies. So we are on the road to the Queen and King of the Ring finals. So ladies, my question to you is, who do you want to be crowned King or Queen of the Ring?
So going off what I said earlier, Gunther will be the King of the Ring. And for Queen, since they had Zelina win the first one, I feel like we have to continue on this theme of underdog. So I would love if Lyra Valkyrie came in and won the Queen of the Ring. I think that'd be such a huge statement for her coming up from NXT. She's already in, I would say, one of the bigger storylines on Raw with Damage Control aligning herself with Becky. So I think Lyra should be the one to win Queen of the Ring. Chelsea or Green was my original pick, but somebody got her. Like, she wasn't even in the tournament. I think she got screwed. This is ridiculous.
I agree with you, Ashley. I agree with you, Kimmy, because Chelsea Green should have been in this tournament. She should have had a chance to beat the Queen of the Ring. But my choice is Nia Jax, because I feel like we saw Bianca Belair suffer, quote-unquote, a knee injury in her qualification match last Friday night. I feel like her knee's going to play an issue in the match on this Friday night before we get to the King and the Queen pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia. I feel like Nia Jax is going to be your Queen of the Ring. And I'll agree with you, Kimmy. God first should be the King of the Ring. So we should have two heel King and Queen of the Rings, because I feel like that title belongs on a heel. I feel like a heel does better with it than a babyface could.
My only problem with Nia winning is that on the promotional poster, Bianca's on it, and so is Jade. So I assume that Bianca's getting to the finals, and Jade's going to accompany her just because it's on the poster. And I don't think they would falsely promote a pay-per-view like that.
So how do you feel, Ashley?
I kind of agree with Kimmy here. I think Gunther should be the obvious choice, especially after like he lost the title to Stanley at WrestleMania, and he's been nothing but like dominant and stuff afterward. So you feel like that's leading to something a little bit bigger for him. So something like the King of the Ring title, but like Kim mentioned, like Capitals and so the title scene, something for the future Germany show. Queen of the Ring, I feel is a little. I'm not exactly sure. I feel like that is a moment where we could make somebody, so giving that match to Alcrea would be fantastic. Like, let's bring another woman up into this already stacked women's division that the WWE has going right now.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm the biggest Lyra Curry fan there is on this podcast. I can probably argue the point, I think. My only thing is, I still feel like she needs a little work on her promos, and I really feel like if we get her near the... Okay, I would take Lyra Valkyria versus Bianca Belair, and Lyra Valkyria being Bianca, maybe. That would be a way I would do it, but if Nia Jax is on the other side, I don't want Lyra Valkyria near Nia Jax at the moment.
Oh, I don't think Nia's winning at all. I think Bianca's going to be the one to be in the finals. But I think the promos too, because with Austin, his promo when he won King of the Ring made him the star that he is. So yes. Who's to say that Lyra can't do the same?
Fair point. Hey, if she cuts one amazing promo after the victory, I'll come on here and say I was wrong, okay? Ladies, it's my final standing question of the week. Let me go. Okay, final standing question of the week. Reports are Discovery Time Warner are on the way to losing their NBA rights to NBC. Ladies, will this help or hurt AEW in their TV deal coming up with said company?
100% help. I think they're looking for sports. I forgot who said it last week. I believe it was Sean Ross Sapp, that Max is going to be a part of whatever AEW TV deal that they are going to have. And they're looking to put pay-per-views on there. They're looking to put all pay-per-views and all of that stuff. People have wanted streaming for AEW since day one of AEW. And this is a huge opportunity. And the NBA package was a lot of money. They have the money to spend. They are very interested in renewing these TV deals. I feel like that's why a lot of your bigger stars will remain champion as they are negotiating. They should, I believe, it's up in the fall. Maybe we're going to get an announcement, but 100% this helps. There's money to be spent here. Let's spend it the right way.
See, I'm with Kimmy here. I feel like it should mostly help AEW, and the fact that they want to put AEW on Max is great because I already have Max, and I can't wait to have that option to watch the pay-per-views. Ashley, do you have a counterpoint, or you want to join me and Ashley in me and Kimmy in this little celebration over here?
I think, like, looking at it, like, it should be like a good thing for AEW. I was reading that like the offer NBC made for the NBA was 2.5, and the offer for Warner Brothers to get back had to be like 2.8 billion or higher. So I can imagine right now what they're paying for those rates is going to be pretty astronomical. we're freeing up all that cap space. I'm sure that will help AEW and maybe even hockey along the way. They still do some NHL and stuff on there. But I will just say, overall, Warner Brothers and everything does nothing but concern me. I think it's been a very trying time with that merger that they had, and I overall am not sure the right person is in charge of that company.
I understand that, Ashley, and that would be one kind of concern about this going forward. We'll have to wait to see what kind of deal AEW gets with Discovery Time Warner. But I feel like Kimmy's right. I feel like they want to have at least some sports on TNT, and hey, they've been partnering with AEW for the last 5 years, so I feel like they're going to at least get another contract, at least 3 or 4 years, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even when they get, what was the last one, like 40 million or something for like 5 years or something like that? I mean, even if it goes up 100 million for like the next 5 years or something like that, it'd be like it would be obviously a big upgrade for AEW. It still would be pennies on the dollar, especially for Warner Brothers. So,
and hey, by the way, that's every time Warner. There's this thing called Ring of Honor that doesn't have a TV deal right now. You need the sports content. Why not another wrestling show? Ring of Honor, just saying.
They're trying.
Ladies and gentlemen, that has been your 76 questions here on Radio Free Professional Wrestling. And before we go, we want to thank our special guest, Kimmy Suckle, for coming onto the show. Kimmy, what you got coming up during the summer here that you wanted to promote on our lovely show here?
What do I have going on this summer? So I think, unless something goes horribly wrong between now and June 8th, I think I'm going to River City Con in Florida. So it's in St. Augustine. So if you're in that area, like Sting and Trish Stratus and Lita and Bull Nakano. This is such a huge deal. Bull Nakano is making her first, her first convention appearance June 8th and June 9th, courtesy of my very good friends at Ultimate Stars Promotions. So you should go check that out because this girl is in Japan. You never know when she's making another appearance again because that flight hella expensive. So go to, I think it's rivercity.com, something like that. So go check them out. And there's a whole list of other people that are going to be there. I, of course, every week on PW Insider complain about Ring of Honor. And I love that, except next Thursday when I'll be in Aruba and I don't have to worry about it. But I'm sure I'll have people telling me all about it. But besides that, yeah, just here. Thanks for having me. Very, very happy every time I get to be on this show. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram. So my Twitter, it's Kimmy. My Twitter's Kimmy_Sokol, and then my Instagram is thank you. It's with a dot because underscores. I don't know what I was doing.
Well, Kimmy, before you go here, we do have one more special little surprise for everybody because we are going to make Kimmy Sokol a official member of our show from now on. She is our guest AEW Ring of Honor guest analyst. As you see, I have given her the Radio Free Professional Wrestling. Kimmy Sokol is Radio Free Professional Wrestling. So, Kimmy, welcome aboard.
Happy to be here. It's probably going to be the only graphic I ever get in my life. So, hell yeah.
Well, what can I say? We have had a lot of fun with you on the last 2 occasions.
This is true. RJ City has had 100 episodes of Hey EW and is yet to get a graphic. So, let's be real.
I'm just saying, I'm a little more friendly with my graphics than maybe AEW. I don't know what to say, but Kimmy Sokol is worth every minute of time we have spent with her. She's freaking amazing. Ashley, where can we find you on the super highway?
Usually it's around on Twitter. It's @Greedy_Ash_.
And of course, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram at RadioFreePW, or visit www.radiofreepw.com to catch up on the previous episodes. And until next week, have a stunning week. And we are a trio of top talent doing top wrestling podcasts, top people out.
This is Sergeant Arms of Christina on behalf of the guys. Thanks for listening to today's show. Please head over to Apple Podcasts and leave a 5-star rating and a review. Until next time, the liberation continues.